I was just saying that when we talk about women in sports, and just generally equality in sports, often the conversation seems to be directed to women, maybe from women to women. And I think that's the wrong approach because it should actually be directed to everyone. And if anyone in particular should be in the conversation talking, it should be men, and should be men in sports. And maybe it should be this old white male at the very top of the hierarchy as well. So I think when I mentioned the France FIFA World Cup in 2018, and when I did see that sort of more positive wave of um, support, both in the media and in the general sports field, sports industry, what I realized at that time that this was possible because there were more male voices that had joined the call for women for equality. So of course we have the Megan Rapinos of the world, and we do need the Megan Rapinos of the world, but we also need the male version of Megan Rapinoe asking for gender equality, because it's not only everyone's responsibility, I think, to ask for a more equal society in general, just going beyond sports, but it's also for, for the good of the industry, for the good of society. And I think while I did see, for example, building up to the France World Cup, a positive movement, I don't think it was because more doors were open to women in sports. I think it's because there was maybe a glimpse of recognition that we do face discrimination by, and this recognition was not from the women, we've always known that, it was by the male in the game, the male representatives in the administrative world. And I think the most positive aspect for me was recognizing that there are more allies, and these allies, I know, are beyond gender. So I think when we talk about women in sports, I would like more men to be in the conversation and more men to actually talk. Because I know sometimes we might feel, oh, we don't want to take, as men, we don't want to take this platform from women too. We want them to speak. And yes, we do want our voices to be heard, but we want everyone to be in the conversation. So I think, especially when we talk about women in sports, I think it's the men's responsibility as well to be active and proactive allies. And I think you, Tom, we've known each other for a few years. I think you're a perfect example of that. So just for you to invite me here and to talk to the class, that's something that I think more people should do. This kind of just proactive approach and say, let's invite someone to the conversation and let's have a conversation together.
Yeah, I think you alluded to
everyone.
Yeah, I think you alluded to it perfectly when you mentioned about working within institutions and trying not to feel anchored in your behavior by those around you who generally were men, and to be yourself. That was your quote, wasn't it? It was to speak out by being yourself and being brave. And I don't think that is just a women's, a female responsibility, but of anybody with that mindset. It is an open mindset, it's a growth mindset. And everybody's responsibility, like you're saying, whether you're male, female, or other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. And thank you very much. It's my pleasure to open up the conversation. And we should do, I mean, it's a bit criminal that it's taking me so long to do it, and I apologize for that. But that doesn't mean that it's not the first or the last time. Which is good. Is there anything else? Is there anything else that you wanted to explore or to share?
No, I think for everyone, not just the women out there, when you are maybe starting a career in sports, don't be afraid to reach out to people. LinkedIn, anywhere, and don't restrict yourself to your specific field. So if you work as a coach, you're a player, you're an administrator, you're in, I don't know, in sponsorship. Don't only reach out to the people within your small industry, your small, I don't know, field of work. Reach out to more people across the sports world, because I think we all have very different perspectives. And by just, engaging in a conversation and discussion, we could have a lot of benefit from learning from one another and in our different perspective of the world of sports. So I would say definitely reach out.
That's definitely, and yeah, often when you're younger, I remember just from my own personal experience feeling a bit of fear before reaching out to people, and I remember being challenged by those older than me or people more experienced than me that I have nothing to lose, and if there is something that I want to do or an avenue that I want to explore, to reach out to the person who I would imagine as the most experienced, the best in their field, and you would be surprised that the higher up you reach, the more quality the people are, and the more likely they are to get back to you and actually not just share things, but at least get you a reply. And
if they don't reply, that's fine. At least you try. There's nothing to lose anyway.
Exactly right. Yes, because there will be, it may be 99%. But it just takes one person to make a positive impact, I guess. Lovely. Thanks again, Erica. I really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure.